If the power goes out tonight, you have about 60 minutes before your house starts losing serious heat. You have for hours before your refrigerator food goes bad. And if you make one specific mistake, you could be dead by morning. This isn't fear-mongering. This is exactly what happened in Texas. In February 2021, Winter Storm Uri knocked out power to 4.5 million homes across Texas. Some families went for days without electricity in below-freezing temperatures. By the time it was over, at least 246 people were dead. The damage totaled $195 billion, making it the costliest natural disaster in American history. But here's what most people don't realize. The majority of those deaths weren't from the cold itself. They were from carbon monoxide poisoning. From hypothermia that set in because people didn't act fast enough. From burst pipes that flooded homes when the power finally returned. From preventable mistakes made in the first few hours of the blackout. The people who survived weren't lucky. They knew what to do the moment the lights went out. They had a plan. They acted immediately instead of waiting to see what would happen. Tonight, I'm going to give you that plan. 7 specific actions you need to take immediately if you lose power during a winter storm. Not tomorrow, not when things get bad, the moment the lights go dark. These aren't suggestions, these are the difference between riding out a blackout safely and becoming another statistic. Write them down, share them with your family. Because when the power goes out, you won't have time to search for answers. Let's start with the most critical one. Number 1, seal one room immediately. The first thing you need to do is stop trying to heat your entire house. Most homes lose heat faster than people realize. Depending on your insulation and the outside temperature, your house can drop to dangerous levels within 2 to 8 hours. Indoor temperatures below 50 degrees pose health risks. Below 40 degrees, you're in dangerous territory, especially for children, elderly family members, and anyone with medical conditions. Here's what you do. Pick one room, make it small. Make it interior, meaning no exterior walls if possible. A bedroom or den works better than a living room with big windows. Ground floor rooms are also better than upper floors because heat rises and escapes through the roof. Close every door to the rest of the house. Hang heavy blankets or plastic sheeting over the doorways to seal them off. Cover the windows in your chosen room with curtains, blankets, or even taped up trash bags. Black trash bags actually work well because they absorb solar heat during the day. Now everyone stays in that room, you eat there, you sleep there. You don't wander through the cold house checking on things. Every time you open a door to an unheated area, you're letting precious warmth escape. This is exactly what families did during the Great Depression when fuel was scarce. They called it one-room living. The entire family would eat, sleep, and spend all their time in a single room heated by one stove. It worked then, and it works now. If you have a tent, set it up inside the room. It sounds extreme, but a tent creates another layer of insulation. Your body heat gets trapped in a smaller space, making it much easier to stay warm. Families in Texas who did this reported staying comfortable even when the rest of their house dropped below freezing. This single action can cut your heat loss by more than half. You're not heating a house anymore. You're heating a small space where your family's combined body heat actually makes a difference. Number 2, protect your pipes. The second action is protecting your pipes from freezing. This might not seem urgent when you're focused on staying warm, but burst pipes cause catastrophic damage. Water expands when it freezes. That expansion can crack copper and PVC pipes. When the power comes back and your pipes thaw, you'll have water flooding through your walls, ceilings, and floors. During the Texas blackout, thousands of homes were destroyed not by the storm, but by burst pipes. You have two options depending on how long you expect the outage to last. For shorter outages, let your faucets drip. Focus on faucets connected to pipes that run along exterior walls or through unheated spaces like garages and crawl spaces. Moving water resists freezing better than standing water. Both hot and cold taps should drip. A rate of about 5 drips per minute is enough to keep water moving through the system. For extended outages or extreme cold, turn off your main water valve and drain the pipes completely. Open faucets to let water flow out. Start with the lowest faucet in your house, usually in the basement, then open faucets upstairs to let air in. If there's no water in the pipes, there's nothing to freeze and burst. Know where your main shutoff valve is before an emergency. Most are in basements, crawl spaces, or near water heaters. The valve typically turns clockwise to close. Find it now, not when your pipes are about to burst. Mark it with bright tape so anyone in your family can locate it quickly in the dark. If you suspect a pipe has already frozen but hasn't burst yet, you can try to thaw it with a hairdryer, heat lamp, or towels soaked in hot water. Never use an open flame, and if you hear rushing water inside your walls, shut off the main valve immediately. Number 3, fill your bathtub with water. The third action is filling your bathtub with water immediately. Most people don't realize that municipal water systems depend on electric pumps. When the power goes out across a wide area, water pressure can drop or stop completely. Once it's gone, you can't get it back until the grid is restored. I've seen people wait hours before thinking about water, and by then it's too late. Fill your bathtub to the top with cold water. Cold water stays fresh longer than warm. Fill every large container you have. Pots, buckets, pitchers, anything that holds water. If you have multiple bathtubs, fill them all. This water is not for drinking. It's for flushing toilets, washing hands, and basic sanitation. A single toilet flush requires about 1.5 gallons. Without water pressure, you'll need to pour water directly into the bowl to flush. One full bathtub gives you roughly enough water for 30 to 40 flushes. For drinking water, you need a separate supply. Plan on 1 gallon per person per day minimum. If you don't have bottled water stored, fill clean containers with tap water before the pressure drops. You can treat questionable water by boiling it for at least 1 minute. There is a product called a water bob that's basically a giant bladder that sits in your bathtub and holds up to 100 gallons of clean drinking water. It keeps the water sanitary and protected. If you live in an area prone to winter storms, it's worth having one in your emergency supplies. Act fast on this one. Once the pressure drops, the opportunity is gone. This is one of those actions where waiting even 30 minutes can be the difference between having water and having nothing. Number 4, don't open your refrigerator. The fourth action is leaving your refrigerator and freezer closed. I know this sounds simple, but most people fail at it. Every time you open that door to check on things or grab a snack, cold air escapes and warm air rushes in. Your food supply is inside those appliances. Protect it. Here are the numbers from the USDA. An unopened refrigerator will keep food safe for about 4 hours. A full freezer will maintain safe temperatures for 48 hours. A half-full freezer drops to 24 hours. But these timelines assume you keep the doors closed. If you absolutely must get something, plan ahead. Open the door once, grab everything you need, and close it immediately. Don't stand there browsing. Better yet, make a mental list before you open the door so you know exactly what you're reaching for. Here's a trick from preppers. Before storm season, fill empty space in your freezer with water bottles or bags of ice. A full freezer holds cold much longer than a half-empty one. Those frozen bottles also serve as backup ice for coolers if the outage extends beyond 48 hours. After 4 hours without power, if you have a cooler and ice available, transfer your most critical refrigerator items to the cooler. In winter, you can use the outdoors as a natural refrigerator if temperatures are below 40 degrees. Just protect food from animals and direct sunlight. There's also a clever coin trick to check if your freezer thawed while you were away. Put a coin on top of a cup of frozen water in your freezer. If you come back and the coin has sunk to the bottom, your food thawed completely and refroze, meaning it's not safe to eat. When in doubt, throw it out. Any perishable food that's been above 40 degrees for more than 2 hours should be discarded. Food poisoning during a power outage when hospitals are overwhelmed is a nightmare scenario. Number 5. Unplug your electronics. The fifth action is unplugging your electronics to protect them from power surges. When electricity is restored after an outage, it often comes back with voltage spikes. These surges can fry televisions, computers, gaming systems, and other sensitive electronics. Even surge protectors aren't foolproof against major spikes. I've talked to people who lost thousands of dollars in electronics because they didn't take 30 seconds to unplug things. Walk through your house and unplug anything with a circuit board, televisions, computers, gaming consoles, modems and routers, microwaves, coffee makers. Anything electronic that you'd be upset to replace. Leave your refrigerator and freezer plugged in. They rebuilt to handle power fluctuations, and you don't want to forget to plug them back in. Leave essential medical equipment connected if someone depends on it. Here's an important step. Leave one light switch in the on position. This way, when power is restored, that light will turn on and alert you immediately. Otherwise, you might not notice the power is back, especially if you're asleep or focused on staying warm in your sealed room. While you're unplugging things, this is also a good time to turn off your main circuit breakers for non-essential areas of the house. This prevents any possibility of electrical fires from damaged wiring when power surges back. Just leave the breaker on for your refrigerator and your one indicator light. Once power returns, wait a few minutes before plugging everything back in. Let the electrical system stabilize first. Then plug things in one at a time, starting with the most essential items. If you notice any burning smell or sparking from outlets, turn off the breaker immediately and call an electrician. Number 6. Conserve your phone battery. The sixth action is immediately conserving your phone battery. Your phone is your lifeline during a blackout. It's your connection to emergency services, weather updates, family members, and information about power restoration. But that battery is finite, and you may not be able to recharge it for days. Treat every percentage point like it's precious because it is. The moment power goes out, enable low power mode. On iPhones, it's in settings under battery. Android phones have similar features called battery saver or power saving mode. This alone can extend your battery life significantly by reducing background activity and screen brightness automatically. Turn off everything you don't absolutely need: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, location services. Close all apps running in the background. Lower your screen brightness to the minimum level you can still read. If your phone has an always-on display feature, disable it. Here's something most people don't know: cold temperatures drain batteries faster. Lithium-ion batteries perform poorly in freezing conditions. Keep your phone inside your clothing, close to your body. Your body heat will help maintain battery performance. Never leave your phone in a cold car or by a window. Text instead of calling when possible. Text messages use far less power than voice calls. When you do check for updates, do it quickly and put the phone back to sleep. Resist the urge to scroll social media or check news constantly. Set specific times, maybe once every few hours, to check for updates. For charging options, your car is a mobile power station. Run the engine for 10 to 15 minutes with the heater going and charge your phone through the car's USB port. Never run your car in a closed garage. A portable power bank is even better if you have one charged and ready. Hand crank emergency chargers work a pinch but require significant effort for minimal charge. Make sure you have important phone numbers written down on paper. If your phone dies completely, you'll still need to know how to reach family, utilities, and emergency services. Number 7. Avoid the deadliest mistake. The seventh and final action is avoiding the single deadliest mistake people make during winter blackouts. During the Texas freeze, more people died from carbon monoxide poisoning than from hypothermia. They brought generators inside. They ran cars in garages with the door cracked open. They used charcoal grills in living rooms. They turned on gas ovens to heat their homes. All of these produce carbon monoxide, an odorless, colorless gas that can kill you and your entire family while you sleep. Let me be absolutely clear about this. Never run a generator inside your home, garage, basement, or any enclosed space. It doesn't matter if doors or windows are open. It's not enough ventilation. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is explicit on this. Generators must be at least 20 feet away from any window, door, or vent. The exhaust must point away from the house. Never use a charcoal or propane grill indoors. Never use your gas oven or stovetop to heat your home. I don't care how cold it gets, these are not heating devices. They are death traps when used in enclosed spaces. During every major winter blackout, families are found dead in their homes because someone thought cracking a window would be enough. It never is. Carbon monoxide poisoning starts with headache, dizziness, and weakness. Then comes nausea, confusion, and blurred vision. At high concentrations, loss of consciousness happens within minutes, followed by death. You won't smell it, you won't see it. You'll just go to sleep and never wake up. Entire families have been wiped out this way. Install carbon monoxide detectors on every level of your home with battery backup. Test them now before you need them. Replace batteries annually. If your detector goes off during a power outage, get everyone outside immediately. Don't stop to grab belongings. Don't try to find the source. Get out, then call emergency services from a safe location. If someone shows symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning, get them to fresh air immediately and call 911. Even if symptoms seem mild, carbon monoxide exposure can cause lasting damage to the brain and heart. This mistake is 100% preventable. Don't let desperation make you a statistic. Let me recap these 7 actions one more time. First, seal one room and concentrate your family there. Second, protect your pipes by dripping faucets or draining the system. Third, fill your bathtub with water before pressure drops. Fourth, keep your refrigerator and freezer closed to preserve food. Fifth, unplug electronics to protect them from power surges. Sixth, conserve your phone battery because it's your lifeline. Seventh, never bring combustion devices indoors, no matter how desperate you get. Write these down, put them on your refrigerator. Share them with everyone in your household. When the power goes out, you won't have time to think through each step. You need to act automatically. The families who survived the Texas blackout weren't lucky. They were prepared. They knew what to do in those critical first 60 minutes. Now you do too. Stay safe, stay warm, and if the lights go out tonight, you'll know exactly what to do. I'll see you in the next one.